Hello everyone. Welcome to one another episode of weekly sectoral analysis. We can see that Nifty spot is completely range bound, flat. It's not moving anywhere. It is within the range of 24,600 and 23,800. And even if you check in the weekly time frame chart, you will see that it is completely flattish because the state of trend, which means the trend momentum is now flat. But to be very frank, if itna dekhe, you will not be able to understand what is happening in all the other sectors, in all the other sectoral indices, because a lot has changed from last week. So let's deep dive into the other sectors also. If you talk about important short-term resistances and supports, then in terms of range, I think the first resistance is at 24,600. And last border of this resistance is at 24,750 round figure rakhunga main. In extreme short term support, I would say the low of the Friday's candle, and then thoda sa zyada deep agar support chahiye to 23,800. But more or less, I would say that it is completely range bound. It's down, up, down, and it was going up in the last couple of days. Things were moving pretty nicely, but I think some negative comment came from Mr. Donald Trump and things started coming down. Anyways, going ahead with banking. In Bank Nifty, things are slightly different because Bank Nifty just does not, see only PSU banks or private banks. It is always the combination of both. And the surprising part is both are looking very, very different this time. But if you want to trade in Bank Nifty, if you're talking just about Bank Nifty, then I would say that the trend and momentum is still down. You can see that the red candle over here is also negative. It's a big red candle. Then we have one more candle over here, which is slightly looking like a inverted hammer, which it is not, but it is surely showing us some sort of selling pressure near the week's high. If you look at the daily time frame chart, you will be able to understand that there was a rally, a retracement near the support band, which is a gap, started moving up ahead, but again there was a dip, and this dip came majorly due to the PSU banks and not due to the private banking space. And here is where the main change happens. Now, if I talk about the PSU banking space, the trend, the momentum is certainly negative. It is not positive. Except one stock which is looking slightly positive, but overall I should say the trend momentum as a sector, as a whole sector, it is certainly negative. In terms of support, you can see this was the last zone of support. Max to max, maybe if you want to add one more Fibonacci retracement over here, you can say, okay, still this is the last one, like 8330. Iske niche agar sustain karta hai, close karta hai, then the next support is within the range of around 8110, 8100. So yes, we are near important supports, but the gap has been closed and the overall trend momentum is negative. Now here things change a little bit. In private banking space, according to me, according to my analysis, first of all, we'll have a look at the daily time frame chart. I have connected over here one point, this is the second point, this is the first point, and this is the third point. So there is a trend line resistance. But underlying, I can see that in comparison to the PSU banking space, the private banking space has rallied. It has certainly retraced, but in this retracement, if you can see, it has not been able to fill the gap. And the volatility over here has decreased. And then there is a up move. Again, there is a down move. And on this down move, there is a hammer. There is a hammer, which is a good sign. It's not a very good sign, but yes, it's still a good sign. So if we have a breakout above this high, about 27,000 or 27,100, a promising breakout with a good candle, and then if we have an up move, maybe private banking space can help overall market to add positive sentiment, and even private banking stocks have a good weightage in the Nifty. We should not forget that. So I think private banking space के ऊपर मैं जरूर नजर रखना चाहूँगा. That is what I would like to say. Oil and gas. Now, oil and gas is a sector due to which the weight has moved and it has given a 1 week pullback. I think the trend and momentum now have turned positive. Yes, the displacement of the moving averages is certainly still negative. ये positive नहीं है, but still the price has turned positive, and we can see that in the daily chart there is an up move, retracement, some sort of consolidation. If it happens in the daily time frame chart, it would be good for the overall sector, and after the consolidation, if it manages to give a decent breakout, it would be really, really nice for the overall sector as a whole. Auto sector, overall price has certainly rallied. According to me, price has rallied. It has given an up move, retraced, consolidated, and then give a breakout. But somehow still price wise it's looking good, but the trend is positive. The trend is certainly positive, but the momentum is still flat. So I think maybe I'll wait for a week. You know, at times it can happen that कभी कभार आपको signals थोड़े से late आते हैं, and it's okay to trade late, but it is always good and it is always better to be a disciplined trader and follow your own trading setup. So according to me, things are looking better. Things are improving certainly in the auto pack, but the trend and momentum, the trend is positive. The momentum yet needs to be positive. The daily chart also looks to be promising, but I think the higher it goes, the better it will be for the overall sector. Consumer durables. Consumer durables as a sector as a whole, there is one thing I would like to share with you which has happened in the previous many weeks. अगर आप ठीक से देखें इस सेक्टर को, then the sector has corrected, bounced back, corrected very sharply, retraced very sharply, corrected again extremely sharply, and then bounced back very sharply. So the movements are very fast. Movements over here are very fast. Now what is going to happen over here ahead, ये हमको नहीं पता. We don't know, and neither I want to predict. Okay, this is the first thing. Second thing is, what is trend plus momentum over here? Is it positive? Is it positive or not? Yes, it is positive. But as a trader, since we have seen that it has been moving up and down since many weeks or maybe a few months very fast, my take on this sector would be that I would like to enter and exit this sector as fast as possible. If I take an entry in any stock, if at all, and I get a move, I would like to book in at least partial as quick as possible before the rally fizzles out, because that has been the nature of this particular sector in the last many months, and I would not like to forget it. Maybe you will say, sir, agar maine jaldi nikal gaya, then I will miss the up move. Yes, it can happen. As a trader, you will always pay the price if you exit late or if you exit early. But it is always better and safe to book at times, not always, at times, smaller profits when the overall sector's movement is volatile. I'm not telling to exit completely, but at least if I take an entry in any stock, I would like to book it slightly early, at least partial, not completely. Consumption pack. Consumption pack, I think the trend is pretty smooth. It's a low volatile move and overall looking good. It's trying to improve its trend and momentum slowly and steadily. Things are looking fine. Chances are, since we have also surpassed this high of the daily time frame chart, chances are slowly and steadily it will continue to move higher. Finance pack. Finance pack, it has been able to come out of these lows. It has, given a very good up move, again retraced, again trying to go higher, but it has faced selling pressure here. Possibly this low is giving some sort of selling pressure, and from here we have corrected, bounced back, again we have come down. So if you just look in this zone, things are slightly tight, choppy, sideways. So I think the trend and momentum is still flat in the finance pack. Maybe we need to wait a week more to get a little bit information out of this sector. Always better to be late rather than, to enter in a sector which is not giving proper signals. FMCG. Now, well, this is a sector which is one of, I think, the third, if I'm not wrong, third heavyweight sector in terms of weightage in Nifty. Very good down move, very good up move. Is the trend and momentum positive? The answer is yes, it's positive. Only thing which I don't like over here, is the last 2 weeks candle. The previous week's candle, mind you, it is an inverted hammer with a big wick on the upside, and you can see this zone. यहाँ पे बहुत सारे wicks बने हैं, 52,500, 52,000. So this is slightly, you can say, a sort of a resistance zone, and this particular candle is a spinning top with slightly bigger wicks. Generally spinning tops के wick इतने बड़े नहीं होते, but it is still has a bigger wick. So the price candles is slightly different and the trend and momentum is positive. So I think it's wait and watch. But overall, if the heavyweight stocks, there are a couple of stocks which give extreme weightage to the sector. If those stocks, and I think out of that, one stock is looking positive, that stock gives a dip and then starts going on the upside, then maybe things will improve for FMCG pack. All right. So let's be hopeful and let's see what happens ahead. IT pack. IT pack, I think I don't need to say much. The trend and momentum continues to be down. Only thing positive is that it has not broken this particular low in this particular week. This is not a good sign, but at least it is great that it has not been able to break it. But on the contrary, if you look at the daily time frame chart, this is one sector which can be a spoil sport. In case if Nifty wants to move higher, in case if FMCG and maybe if private bank, because private banking space के ऊपर मैंने Twitter पे भी एक post किया था. In case if these two sectors try to pull Nifty higher, थोड़ा सा ध्यान हमको IT pack से रखना पड़ेगा, because IT is the second most heaviest weightage in terms of Nifty. If this resistance is not surpassed on the upside और यहाँ से selling pressure आया, and then if it tries to give a down move, it could act as a spoil sport. Okay, so just be aware of that. So overall trend and momentum still in the IT pack is certainly negative. Infra pack, I would say the trend momentum is positive. Things have improved. This was a big weekly gap. It has been filled. Initial rally was high momentum, high volatile rally. Volatility has reduced. The angle of the rally is sub 90 degrees over here, maybe 70, 80 or something. Over here, things are slightly above 45. If there is a dip and then if it starts moving up, you will get a slightly better entry in the infra pack in terms of risk reward. Overall, things are looking positive for the infra pack. Over here, we had a same gap which I shared with all of you in the weekly time frame chart, which has been filled. And yes, if we can close above this gap, ये और भी better हो जाएगा. Metal pack, the trend momentum, I don't think so I need to say much. The trend momentum is positive. Over here, things are looking great. Only thing is we do have a negative divergence in the 14-period RSI. And you can see higher highs over here. So I think as a short-term momentum trader, would I like to take entry in the metal pack? The answer is no. I would likely wait. Maybe once it gets a little bit at a discounted rate, if it dips a bit, and then if I can get it somewhere in this zone of 12,400, 12,600 also, and then if it starts rallying, it would be a better bet in the middle pack. Pharma. Well, this is some good news. Why this is good news? Just because the pharma pack has rallied? No, my friends. You can see the pharma pack was actually trying to break this zone either on the downside, either on the upside since July 2025. And in May 2026, it has been able to break the shackles, close above it. This is a really good sign. Is the trend momentum positive? The answer is very much yes. The daily time frame chart is looking terrific. Only thing is it's overstretched. The RSI is well above 70. Is it a good time to take an entry? The answer is no. One should wait out, wait for a proper dip when the risk reward is positive for all of you, and then probably take an entry in the Pharma pack. All right, but overall it seems to be positive for sure. PSE sector. PSE sector, I think things are much better now. Things are improving. Last 2 to 3 weeks we have consolidated. Over here we can see this. The trend and momentum has slightly slowed down, but it is still positive in its nature, no doubt, in the weekly time frame chart. We need a small dip in this sector, and once that dip is over, and then if it starts rallying, it will be a good bet in the PSC sector. Realty pack. Now, Realty pack, I think after a very long time, because Realty pack was one of the best bets for a derivatives trader who takes positions in derivatives, probably to go short when it was correcting from the month of October or early November. It was a really good fall. After this fall, there has been a very steady rise, and the first time it seems that the trend momentum has been able to improve in the weekly time frame chart. We have not been able to surpass its previous high in the daily time frame chart. So as per the Dow theory, we are still not positive, but initial rally was with high momentum, high volatility. Now the volatility has reduced. If it gives you an entry, if it gives you a dip, a shallow dip or a slightly deeper dip, and then if it takes off, closes above this high, it'll be really good for the sector. It'll improve the structure at least in the daily time frame chart, and partially, the word is partially, in the weekly time frame chart. Why I'm using partially? Because isi zone pe within the range of 865 and 854, there is a lot of resistance. You can say 850 to 865. There is a lot of resistance. So it's not going to be easy. Trust me. It is not going to be easy for the Realty pack to go higher. The heavyweight stocks will have to do a lot of lifting over here. Okay. India Defense. India Defense, the trend momentum is certainly positive over here. Things have improved. Things have improved here too. Is it overstretched? The answer is yes. It needs to take a dip. Is it a good time to take entry? As of now, the answer is no, because even if the trend and momentum is up, at least आपको कहीं ना कहीं entry तो मिलना चाहिए. This zone was pretty good to take an entry, but now if you have missed it, you should wait for a slight short-term dip and then take an entry. Mid caps. Mid caps also, things have improved. The way it has shot up, it's really nice, because this was the previous low in mid caps in the weekly time frame charts. This is the recent low, and suddenly it has taken off, closed above the previous high. So in just one shot, within the time time frame of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, within a time frame of 1.5 month, things have changed completely. This was a good zone probably to enter, but now if you have missed it, you should wait for a secondary dip. All right. So overall, things are improving in the markets, but before I end the video, you should be slightly be careful, because when Mr. Donald Trump tweets something, and overnight something happens, negative, positive, it can shake you out of the market. You just need to be careful about that thing, which is not in your control. So आपके कंट्रोल में क्या है, आप अपने पोजीशन साइजिंग पे ध्यान रखें. That's it. And keep watch mainly on two sectors. One is the IT sector, which is still negative. Second is the PSU banking space, which is still negative. It is at a support, but still negative. I think the joker in the pack can be private banking space. It's not yet positive, but the way it is structured, If it gives a move, remember there are 2 to 3 stocks in this private banking space which have pretty good weightage in Nifty. So if private banking space starts moving up and the IT space and the PSU banking space are not that negative, it might give a boost to Nifty. All right. So trade less, trade wisely, and stay healthy. Thank you.